Hello, and welcome to Rampant Pyanodon, episode 11 of season 3. So, last episode, we did a good job redesigning all of our military fronts. This episode, as you can see, I added a few things to our to-do list. But we got 3 of them that we want to tackle this episode. The first thing is one of our patrons has decided on what they wanted immortalized, and that is the fishing dock. So, we're going to go ahead and make Sterling a fishing dock. Second, which is not on this list, is we're actually going to turn on the biters again because we finished redoing our military fronts. And the third thing is we will finally continue on our way to Pi Science 1. So, let us get to it. Okay, one thing to note before I turn the biters back on is if you see our evolution over here, it says that we are at 83%, right? Which is really high. And as you can see, we could also see the breakdown. It's 45% comes from tile absorbed pollution contribution. We have negative 612 16% absorbed by tree pollution and 400% tree damage by pollution contribution. And then we have like a measly 10% by spawner absorbed pollution contribution, 10% by killed spawners contribution. It's like very low. The numbers for the trees are very inflated. This is because I have a trees mod, and what usually happens is that, oh, the pollution comes, you destroy all the trees, and that's it. The trees are gone. You can't be damaging them anymore. But I have a trees regenerate mod, so my trees just keep on coming back, and so they're just absorbing pollution, they're damaging pollution. And I don't like that. I want the trees to have a less of an impact, as well as the tiles absorbed pollution contribution. I mean, I feel like our pollution's not that bad, but yet our tiles absorbed is just shot to the moon, 44% because of the pollution caused by this. I want the tiles and the trees to matter less than the spawners. What I really care most is that the spawners are absorbing pollution. If the spawners are affected by pollution, then I want our evolution to go up. I don't really care much about the tiles and the trees. So I have some settings here, and I'm going to go ahead and change them up. Okay, so these numbers are going to change from here to this. And it seems like the evolution is settled at around 40%, 10% because of tile absorbed. And then the trees absorbed damage are kind of even now. But the spawner absorbed pollution contribution has gone up, and the killed spawners contribution is still at 8%. So I think I like these numbers a little bit more. Again, I wanted there to be more of a focus on spawners and biters contributing to evolution rather than the tiles and the trees. So without further ado, we can go ahead and turn the biters back on. Before I turn this on, I can't say that the past 20 to 30 hours have been the most peaceful Factorio I have had in a very long time. Just being able to build without the pressure of biters and imminent doom and my base being absolutely ripped apart, and just being able to kind of build at a nice leisurely pace and enjoy it. But yeah, that time's over. So back into the fray. We gotta hurry. The biters are coming. We gotta prepare our base because they're gonna come and destroy everything again. What are we gonna do? Let's go ahead and build a fishing dock for Sterling. Now that time is a factor again, because we're always racing against these biters, I'm going to be designing it in the test world again, which we haven't seen in quite some time. So here we go. Hello, this is Vic from the future, the past, the one who edits the videos. That's a version of me you're talking to. But anyways, I just wanted to say, while we're decorating, I just wanted to give a quick plug out to my Patreon. Again, I'm making Sterling's fishing dock here because he is a patron, and for as little as $1 a month, you can help support me and the videos I create. And for as little as $1 a month, you only have to join for 1 month. I will immortalize you in my game, and you will be there forever. You can even go on the Google Drive and download the time-lapse map to watch or see your immortalization whenever you want. But anyways, back to you, Present Me. Okay, I think I like how it came out. So we have a dock here. This is the entrance, and it kind of looks janky. These are kind of supposed to be like chains connecting the wooden posts, and these are like kind of supports for the dock itself, and then we have here the fishing dock part. I tried to put some like decorations, just putting some little like boxes and pipes around. And here, this is kind of cool. This is actually where the fishing takes place. Whoops. And the fish will get put in these boxes, which has water going into them. They don't actually have water going into them, obviously, but yeah, the water goes in here, and it looks pretty good. We have the fish turbine because this is part of the fish island, and this is Sterling's fishing dock. So, thank you guys. Guys, thank you Sterling once again for becoming a patron and supporting me on my journey. Let's go ahead and port this over into our world. And there we go. It is being built. Once again, thank you Sterling so much for being a patron, for all your contributions. This has been Sterling's fishing dock. Let's go ahead and check it off the list. And up next, we can work towards Pi Science 1. Okay, so we want to get to Pi Science 1, right? Right here. So we want to get to Pi Science 1, right? How do we do that? One of the things we need is cellulose, right? But in order to get cellulose, we need wood. We made more wood, but if we look in the world, our wood is actually being bottlenecked by ash. We're actually out of ash. As you can see, we're not producing enough ash. This is because all the ash we are producing, we are turning directly into coal, turning directly into soot on plant, because I was so smart and thought, oh, I could save space on the line by turning it all into soot beforehand. But now we actually need the ash. So I have to go ahead and first of all undo all the ash things I did to get us more ash, or at least make it a priority to send the ash in through first. And then once we get more ash, we have more wood. I wanted to still reduce reliance on raw coal, so we need to go ahead and make more coal because there's a recipe out there which I can show you real quick. Coal, there's a recipe that you can make coal out of wood. So I'm going to be making out of wood, and I'm going to be going around the base, and any place that, again, has been using coal, I will make it used from our dedicated coal production first before we use coal made from raw coal. I could also just go into the different places that destructive distillation columns and replace those with the recipe and just make wood come in instead of raw coal, but, you know, I haven't decided yet. But yeah, that's the plan. So the first step of that long plan, if you followed along, was to fix the ash. So we're going to go around the base, and every place that produces ash and has its dedicated solid separator, I will now remove that solid separator. Oh, and then while I was at it, I decided to redo the ash and soot recycling areas. Okay, here's our first stop, and I'm just gonna... Looks good. And this one. And the one right next to it. And that looks good. So next up we have to go ahead and find every place that makes ash and remove the solid separator there. So there's about 40 billion of these, so this may take a while. Let's go ahead and do it. And next up, oh, we already did those. Those. Let's go deal with these ones. Okay. And then here. Here. Whoa, the power disappeared. That couldn't possibly go wrong. We are almost there. Oh, those are done actually. Oh, that's good. Okay, this is the big one. Yeah, there we go. Oh, not another power gone. I think we will be fine without it. But anyways, that is more ash finally done, which is fantastic. But yeah, now I think we are going to work on getting more coal. So again, replacing all the places that take raw coal for coal and replacing that with wood for coal. So let's go ahead and work on this. And this looks good. Let's go ahead and blueprint this and bring it into the world. And we can place it right here. And it looks great to me. So this little bucko can consume over 15 pieces of wood at a time and spits out 15 pieces of coal at a time. Next up, we just got to go ahead and connect this up to the system. And there we go. Wood is all connected. Now we just got to wait for it to get here. Like this. And there we go. The magic of editing. Okay. And then again, all that's left is to go ahead and connect the coal, reprioritize the coal everywhere on the base that takes in coal as an ingredient, which is honestly not that many places. So we got right here, and then there's this one in the wood, which I just changed the recipe to wood and use the own wood, so now it's self-sustaining. We don't even need rock wool for this one. There's right here, which is right next to where we started, right over here, and lastly, right there. So let's go ahead and check off more coal. That looks good. Next up, not Pi Science 1 stuff, but, okay, I promise everything we're doing this episode is so that we can actually begin to work on Pi Science 1 next episode. So next up, or for the remainder of this episode, we are going to go ahead and finish making a new Glassworks area, because our current Glassworks area is small and doesn't take a bunch of different fluids in like we had envisioned, because it's cramped. So we're going to make a new Glassworks area, and in order to do that, I learned that syngas was a very efficient gas to use, so we need to make that. And before that, there is carbon dioxide to flow control. There's just like 1 or 2 or 3 fluids. There's a couple fluids that aren't left, that are not in my flow control. So I am going to add them all to my flow control, starting with carbon dioxide. Yep, so we got these to deal with, and we're going to place it in this tanker right here. Let's do it. All done! Alright, that's carbon dioxide. What else do we have? Slaked lime, next on the chopping block. And done with saline water. Okay, what is next up on our list? Oh, actually, we just did what was on our list. We did saline water already. So that was saline water, misspoke. Now we're doing slaked lime. And done. Okay, that is slaked lime. But yeah, after that, I think that's literally every single fluid I'm producing is represented on this line, and I can prove it by counting these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And if we go on production and click on fluids, and we click on all time, okay, you're just gonna have to trust me on this one. But we've done all the fluids are in my flow control now, right? So you know what? In fact, I think this calls for cool flow control. I was supposed to, I think, change these to different tanks, but I quite honestly do not want to rebuild this. As simple as that would seem like it is, I don't want to rebuild this. So I've done every single fluid. I'm gonna call this cool and say we are all done with those two. We're actually gonna skip syngas. And I'll tell you why in a second, but we are going to work directly on our new Glassworks. So let's get to it. So we've actually designed this before, and it's what we're currently using, but let me just re-explain how it works. So basically, the Glassworks is going to be a matrix with the gases, or with the fuels being the column axis, and the products being the row axis. So for example, this row, this column is going to be, say, tar, and this one will be coal gas. And if we want another one, like hydrogen or something, we just take this and bam, tileable to the right, we have another 2 fuels that we can use. So if we want like another recipe, then we just put it here. So this one is all molten glass, this one is glass, this one is what's it called? Glassware. But yeah, this is basically how it works. So want more columns here, and if I want more products, I expand it this way. So let's go ahead and I guess design it specifically for what we had, and then port it over. All right, and we have 8 fuels that have a fuel value, so we are just going to use all 8 of these. And I forgot the last most important part is that we're gonna try powering it using excess fuel. So we put overflow valves over this whole thing, and we're gonna try to power our glassworks with just a fluid that's overproducing. And if that doesn't work, obviously we can just kind of get rid of some of these. But I wanted to prioritize fluids that are, I mean, currently it's only going to take from overflowing fluids. Let's hope it works out. Let's port it. And there we go. So it's all connected up and running. The fuels that are going right now. So it seems like we have excess coal gas, and we also have excess hydrogen. Unfortunately, hydrogen has a very low energy value, so it's not going to be making much, but we are making some things. So I guess in the future, again, if there's any problem with glass production in the future, I'll make it dedicated and not just the excess. But for now, that is the glassworks done. We can go ahead and check off this, and that looks good. I mean, I think this is all old stuff, and next episode we will be on to Pi Science 1. There are a few loose ends to wrap up in this episode. The first loose end being this old glassworks. We don't need this anymore, so we can go ahead and then also we did have some, what's it called, petri dishes going here, but this isn't really used for anything, so we'll go ahead and get rid of this too. So yeah, that is everything. We did a lot of work this episode. Let's check it out. Yeah, so we fixed more ash, we fixed the coal, we fixed like a bunch of our flow control, and we made a new glasswork. So we set ourselves up to work on Pi Science 1 next episode. Thank you again. This is the end of the episode. Thank you to all my patrons. We got John Boy, Mastuzo, and Irispestuzo, Ima, and now we have Sterling. Thank you guys, and see you guys next episode.